When you look at Joshua's speech, he talked about people who make a difference, who go out into the community and they give back. They create opportunities for people. Scott Cecil is one of them. He is receiving our Junior Watkins Foundation Award. He is the president and chief executive officer at Amaron, Illinois. He has worked in the utility industry for more than 35 years. He's been in marketing, sales, operations, legislation, regulatory, and public affairs. He holds a bachelor's degree from Culver Stockton College and a master's degree from Bradley University. One of Scott's most significant events, community achievements, started back in 1991 when he and two of his co-workers partnered with Manual High School. As a part of it, it was an adoptive school initiative, and their mentoring led to a co-op which allowed these students to come and work at Amaron. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of people who went through that program and who are doing good things here. In 1998, it expanded his partnership to College Yes, and this is a program where qualified students from Manual are able to go to ICC on a full scholarship. Not just tuition, it pays for their books, it pays for their supplies, and obviously, as you see, it also opens up the door for them to have jobs as well. One of the things that I learned about him is that he was a referee. So he probably heard me in the audience yelling at him a few times. But that's the type of person he is. When you really look out and you look into the community and you see the people who are doing the things that are moving up, it's the people who took the time to give back, to care about people outside of themselves, and to create opportunities where there may not have been opportunities. And now he's the head of one of the largest companies in the city. And he's so humble, and they were so proud. And we are so proud to have you as one of our honorees. He has been married to Susan for 35 years, and I see why, she's beautiful. And they have 3 children, Derek, Abby, and Andrew. And on behalf of the African American Hall of Fame, we would like to welcome Scott Cecil up here, and Howard Johnson, our past president, and Junior Watkins, our founder, will give you the award.
Well, first of all, good Saturday evening to everyone. And as an honoree, I'm most humbled and honored for this unique distinction. As it was said, I've been involved in many community affairs throughout my career, but none are more important to me than the efforts that we give to help our children and our young adults be prepared for the future. It is correct, in 1991, 3 of us went to Manual High School. We started the program, but we saw a deficiency. After these talented young students graduated, many did not go on to college. So we decided with Manual High School and Illinois Central College to launch the College Yes program. And that's been in place since 1998, with well over 200 students that have graduated. I'll tell you, nothing is more gratifying to me than to receive an unexpected letter come into the office from a student that says, basically, without College Yes, I would have never had the opportunity to go to college, yet earn a degree. So with that, I'm very humbled this evening for this special recognition. In conclusion, I want to acknowledge 2 things. First, many of my coworkers are here tonight. Some of them, in fact, started with me back in the early 90s with Manual High School, and the other coworkers give of their time and talent to make our communities better. And then finally, a special recognition to the African American Hall of Fame for bestowing this unique honor on me. Thank you very much.
Our next inductee is the recipient of the Romeo B. Garrett Humanitarian Award. That recipient is Mr. Glen Barton. Mr. Barton is the retired chairman and chief executive officer of Caterpillar Incorporated. Glen is a native of Alton, Missouri, graduated from the University of Missouri-Columbia in 1961 with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. He completed the Stanford University Executive Program in 1977, and he serves on the Dean's Engineering Advisory Council, for the University of Missouri-Columbia. And he also sits on the board of directors for several companies, including Valmont Industries, Newmont Mining Corporation, and Absorbent Technologies. Glen is being he's being inducted for his tireless work to raise funds for Peoria's first charter school that targeted 80% minority students. He serves as the chairman of the Quest Charter Academy and was one of the key fundraisers, and was key in bringing it to fruition. He is the director of District 160 Educational Foundation and as a founding director of Peoria Next. He was also the CEO that founded Caterpillar's relationship as a Board of Corporate Affiliates member with the National Society of Black Engineers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Glen Barton.
Something that I am very proud of, and I know many of the community people that have been involved with us are also equally gratified by what we're seeing happen. If we listen to what Josh had to say tonight, we are teaching 300 kids at this point in time, counting the new 75 that are coming in, the path to capitalism. And we are also teaching kids to move on, do the things that will make them better for the world, better for Peoria, and better for themselves and their families. So we're really pleased to have almost 9 months now behind us, and are looking forward to the years ahead. And I'd like to thank one of our other honorees, Larraine Bryson, who is also on our board, and Mac Pogue, who is here tonight as well, a board member, for all their tireless work in helping us bring this to pass. So thank you very much for this recognition, and we'll be back to give you more good stories about it in the future. Thank you.
Dr. Tyrone Taborn. He flew in for this award, and wait till you hear about him. He is receiving the Joshua Smith Corporate Diversity Award. He is a publisher, chairman, and CEO of Career Communications Group. It is a minority-owned media services company which connects top technology talent to employers that have potential to fulfill their careers. Taborn is also the founder of the Foundation of Educational Development, which aims to raise the awareness of technology literacy in the minority communities around the nation. He is currently on the board of affiliations. His board affiliations include the Women Legislators of Maryland Foundation, Baltimore's Partners for Enhanced Learning, Maryland's Black Caucus Foundation, Advancing Minorities' Interest in Engineering, and the Grainfield Academy. He is also a member of the National Association of Hispanic Journalists. With roots in both the Latino and Black communities, Dr. Taborn, who grew up in Los Angeles, California, attended the college at Cornell University in New York. There he was one of 32 academic scholars honored with the membership in the prestigious Telluride Association. Taborn holds honorary degrees from Morgan State University and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and a Bachelor of Science from Johns Hopkins University. Dr. Taborn, we are so honored that you came in. We're honored that Joshua thought of you and thought of us to be able to honor you. And we would like to welcome you to Peoria. After a late flight, he still made it, so we're glad you're in the house. Thank you.
I couldn't think of a better place to be, and I have to tell you, I'm absolutely humbled with this award. I'm even more humbled that it is an award named after my good friend Joshua Smith, because there's so many times when we need people to stand up and speak out, and we don't do that. And Josh Smith has always stood up and spoke and made a difference. So that's why it was my honor to get on a plane in Maryland and come here and to be with you. I know I only have a few moments, so I want to be very distinct. When Tavis Smiley, when his group came to me and asked that I participate in the Covenant with Black America, and thanks to many of you, it was the first book by African Americans to make the New York Times #1 bestseller. But what his people said is that the first 9 chapters are dealing with the issues in the African American community, and we want you to deal with the future. And the future was technology. So we ended on a bright spot. What must our community do? So to all of the young people here, and to all of the influencers here, let me be very clear that the participation of blacks in technology has always existed. When we needed technology in agriculture, it was the slaves who brought that. Tuskegee made history as actually the university that was the cradle of engineering education when we did not believe that education, that engineering and technology could be presented. Now we live in a new world, a world where lots of more people are participating in technology. Our competition is global. So to all of us here, it is absolutely critical that we do not allow ourselves to be excluded from this global race. So, in thanking everyone else, to all of the young people here, what I want to say is there's one other person you need to thank. And I hope this isn't taken the wrong way, but thank yourself. I'm thanking me for allowing people like Joshua Smith to come in my life. I'm thanking me for resisting many of the negative forces in Allgill Gardens where I was born. I'm thanking me for still getting on that bus in LA and finding my way to get an education. I'm thanking me for going to Cornell. I'm thanking me for trying to avoid all of those negative pieces. And to the young people here, thank yourself. And know that at the end, it is your decision and how far you can go. God bless you. God bless this city. God bless our country.
Our next recipient, or inductee, is receiving his award in the area of sports and athletics for the business side. That is Mr. Henry Thomas. Mr. Thomas is one of the leading basketball agents at CAA Sports, a sports management, marketing, and consulting group based in Chicago. Mr. Thomas earned a BS in accounting from Bradley University, where he played basketball. He also earned a JD and an LLM in taxation from DePaul University. Prior to becoming a basketball agent, he was a tax specialist at the international accounting firm of Coopers and Lybrand, which is now Price Waterhouse Coopers. And eventually he became a partner at the Chicago-based law firm of Carney and Brothers. Mr. Thomas established and taught a sports law course at DePaul University, serving as the adjunct professor of sports law for 23 years. And I'm sure everyone can understand, as Mr. Smith mentioned, the March Madness is occurring right now, so he was unable to be with us tonight as a basketball agent. So he did send his appreciation for the award, and accepting on his behalf is Ollie Jones. Mr. Henry Thomas.
Ollie is going to take the award and send it back to him. And actually, her son, Marcus Griffith, was one of his, he was his agent. And so, Ollie, thank you. Diamond Hurd. We talked earlier about going to all of the 8th grade schools. We went to all of the grade schools and we asked every principal to nominate one outstanding African American student. Who is your star? And then we asked the scholarship committees to look at these 8th graders and determine, based on the write-ups of the principal, who our star would be tonight. Miss Diamond Hurd. She is an 8th grader at Washington Gifted School. Diamond describes herself as active. She is especially fond of sports and has played softball, basketball, soccer, and is a cheerleader at Washington Gifted. While on the court or on the playing field, determination is written all over her face. And when she is cheering, her smile and her enthusiasm for the Washington Wildcats cannot be hid. As a 7th grader, she was in the IESA speech contest representing her school. And when Diamond comes up here, the principal could not be here because her daughter was having a baby, but she said that she was so proud because when she looks over Washington Gifted, Diamond is a highlight, thus the name Diamond. Would you please come forward, Diamond? Okay. Diamond's shy, so we'll just shake hands and take her picture. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you. But you see the smile?
Our next recipients come as a tandem, and they're receiving their award in the area of higher education. Doctors Charles and Jean Morris. I'll start with Mr. Morris. Mr. Morris held many positions during his career in education. He taught math at secondary and collegiate levels and served as Vice President for Administrative Services at Illinois State University and as Vice Chancellor for Academic and Student Services for the Illinois Board of Regents, the governing board for Illinois State University, Northern Illinois University, and Sangamon State University. Following retirement, he and his wife, Dr. Jean Morris, have remained active in university, church, and community affairs. Dr. Charles Morris. Dr. Jean Morris taught early childhood education at Illinois State University for over 28 years. Her community involvement includes, but is not limited to, the Board of Directors for Heartland Head Start, Directors Emeritus Group for the Baby Fold, and participates with the United Campus Christian Foundation, McLean County Historical Society, League of Women Voters, State of Illinois Annuitants Association, Bloomington Chapter of the NAACP, and American Civil Liberties Union. And again, that's not all, just a few. Together, they have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. The Morrises have an extensive list of accomplishments and honorable mentions. Their hard work and their great efforts in the community are a true testament of their successes. Doctors Charles and Jean Morris.
Good evening. The concept upon which the African American Hall of Fame was founded is a very powerful one that cannot and will not be forgotten or lost as it is passed from generations to generations. We thank the founders. Charles and I are proud to have had the privilege to be involved with a host of young women and men at Illinois State University. Over the years, they were not just students. Many became family. They enriched our lives. They ate with us, engaged in child minding for our children, and included us whenever their families came to town. Perhaps Charles and I inherited some kind of mentoring gene from our parents, who were always involved with young people, inspiring and supporting them to pursue the next level of education in times when African Americans really had to struggle for the right to be. Secondly, our graduate school years were sprinkled with and illuminated by experiences and opportunities provided by supporters which made big differences in our educational journeys. What we were experiencing in those years were not seen as mentoring, advising, or counseling, but caring and supporting, propelled by hope for a brighter future for all. Charles and I were very fortunate. We had many shoulders to stand on and clearly understood that's what it takes. Our mentors would be pleased that our names are added to the roster of inductees to the African American Hall of Fame. We thank Mr. Willie Brown, who nominated us. We are proud to be inductees. It is an honor which we will always cherish.
One of the things that pleases me most about this honor is that Jean and I are both being recognized as a team. Often it's been on an individual basis, and one sits and is prideful as the other receives the award. This time each of us can watch the other receive the award. My plan originally was to name a number of people who played significant roles in getting us to this point. We've had many people who've been collaborators, co-conspirators, and who've provided support in other ways, who are responsible for helping us to get to this point. Reaching a goal of higher education and enhancing that possibility for others. But earlier, I observed that there were several people in the audience whom I had not expected to see. And I'm sure that there were others. So I'm going to limit that list that I had to name just a few people and ask the others to understand if I missed them. The first group I would introduce are the people at our table, family, and friends. Please stand up. The next group, the one which I will limit, is a group of people in the Peoria area that we have known through the years and who've been compatriots as we have gone along this journey. Before that, though, I'll mention two people who we became associated with early in our careers here in Illinois. We came to Normal in 1968. Two of the people that we became involved with as they were starting their journeys toward higher education are Dwayne Livingston and Willie Brown, two gentlemen who became vice presidents in two of the Fortune 500 companies in America. So given that start, it was hard for us to fail. Other people, some that I will mention who are from Peoria: Clarence Brown, Al and Muriel Orendorff, Maxine Wortham, Ira Neal, Beverly Nance, and Norris Clark, among others. All people that I'm sure many of you here are acquainted with. We are very appreciative of this award and of the people who have helped us receive it. And our thanks again to the African American Hall of Fame for this honor.
When I called Willie Brown after I received the nomination and I saw the extended list, I said, before I even saw it, I said, tell me a little bit about them. And all Willie could say is, in the Bloomington area, they are icons. That says a lot about them, and They're a beautiful couple, and we're so thankful. And when I was talking to her, I found out she knew my grandmother, who I never even got to meet. So, Dr. Jean and Charles Morris, both doctors. The next award that we are going to give is to someone who has passed, but who came from Peoria and who had an impact not only on the Peoria area, but on the world. Mark Clark. Mark Clark, born June 28, 1947, and died December 4th, 1969, was a member of the Black Panther Party. A lot of people, when they hear about the Black Panther Party, he's been honored on BET, he's been honored in movies, but a lot of people, when they hear about it, they automatically hear that the Black Panther Party was a militant party. But that's not true. When the Black Panther Party was put in place, it was put in place to ensure safety for our children, safety for our women, and safety for people who lived in a world of fear. My dad actually knew Mark Clark, and I said, Dad, what can I say about him? He said, one thing you can say about him is he was always a gentleman. Mark Clark went on to serve as the captain of defense for the Black Panther Party. His job was to ensure, like I said, that women and children were safe, but he was born and raised in Peoria, Illinois. He graduated from Peoria Manual in 1969, Mark Clark started the first free breakfast program in Peoria, and that breakfast program went throughout the whole country, throughout the Black Panther Party. So we actually have the pleasure of having his sister here. When we were calling, we couldn't reach anyone because there's been a lot of illnesses in the family, and she even had surgery on Tuesday. So on behalf of Mark Clark, Dr. Eleanor Clark, will you please come forward and accept an award? Thank you.